Good evening to one and all present here. Literature is not confined to the pages of a book. It lives in every story we tell, every song we sing, every film we watch, and every culture we celebrate. With this thought, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration of the fortnightly online symposium of the In Tandem Research Club for the academic year 2026 to 2027, organized by the PG and Research Department of English, Queen Mary's College, as part of the 112th anniversary celebration of our esteemed institution. The word "in tandem" means working together, moving forward together with a shared vision and purpose. True to its name, In Tandem Research Club is a vibrant academic platform that brings together students, scholars, researchers, and faculty members to engage in meaningful discussion, critical inquiry, and collaborative learning. Through its fortnightly online symposia, the club nurtures research aptitude, encourages interdisciplinary perspective, and creates a space where idea flourishes through dialogues. This academic year theme, Popular Culture and Literature, invites us to explore the fascinating relationship between literature and contemporary culture, from cinemas, folklore, memes, web series, artificial intelligence, and social media to the countless narratives that shapes our everyday lives. It reminds us that if literature is ever evolving, reflecting, and responding to the changing world around us. With heart full of enthusiasm and mind eager to learn, let us begin this memorable inauguration of the In Tandem Research Club. To formally welcome the gathering, I now invite Dr. Maria Preethi Srinivasan, Associate Professor and PG and Research Department of English, Queen Mary's College, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening. We consider the 14th of July an auspicious day in the calendar of Queen Mary's College because this is our founding day. And today we are celebrating the 112th anniversary of Queen Mary's College. We began on a very uplifting note this morning with celebrations in which we at the Department of English released 3 workbooks, of which our keynote speaker today, Saranya, also had a share in that, and for which we are very grateful to all the professors who have nurtured In Tandem. I think we got to this point where we could reach out even to undergraduate students. We could take this mission to undergrad students through the workbooks. So that was a high point of our celebrations today. And for people who are new to In Tandem, I would like to say that we went online in 2021 at the time of at COVID, to be specific. And we were initiated into online symposia, online webinars through Professor Samuel Rufus. In fact, he gave us his own personal Zoom account, and he educated us on how to conduct these online webinars. And we had a lecture series at that time for 4 days, literature and times like these, where we reflected. We had deliberations on literature in relation to sickness and then transcendence, that people trying to transcend this COVID situation, the question of existentialism, then also the migrant situation. People, initially migrant labor were in panic and they were moving. So we were looking at migration in such times. That was an immensely educative and series, and also very encouraging for us at the Department of English, because thanks to the connections we had, connections with people like Professor Rufus, that we got 2,300 registrations for that webinar. And that actually gave us the courage to kind of go, go, I won't say go global, but to spread our wings and to actually to connect with other institutions. And we also came up with this slogan, "Together we grow." So that was a time when we found that PG scholars wanted across colleges, not, wanted to come together and learn. So after that, we had, so for the first time, we had a theme. That was in 2022, that we had the prize winning story, followed by interdisciplinary literary studies in 23-24, and 24-25 it was conflict, peace, reconciliation, and planetary well-being. The year after that, 25-26, which is just the previous year, we had regions and translations in Indian writing. Um, the board members, they vote on, we take a poll, and whatever the majority decides is the theme. And so the theme for this year, I'm happy to announce that the theme is popular culture and literature. So when we were looking out for a resource person, we didn't have to think much. The person who came to our mind was Dr. Saranya of Ethiraj College. And we reached out to her, and being a friend of Queen Mary's, a friend of In Tandem, she gave her consent immediately. Um, and mind you, we always do, not always, often we do things at short notice. And that is where our board members are very resourceful and helpful. They get us resource persons. So apart from the being, the academic input and reviewing what students present, this networking is what is the most valuable thing, I would say, of having the board of editors. And we have been nurtured by our patrons. We began with just two board members, Dr. Sreelatha and Dr. Rufus. And so that's why we call them the patrons of In Tandem Research Club. And as we got a bit well known, we connected with people outside Tamil Nadu, Professor Debashri Dattare of Jadavpur University, and another connection which came through our, University of Madras Research Club, which Sreelatha and Madam and I belonged to in the early 2001, 2, 3, 4. So Dr. Geeta introduced me to Dr. Shreya Bhattacharjee, and that is how we got a board member from the Central University, Jharkhand. So Dr. Aparna Srinivasan, Dr. Padma McCurtich, all of them have enriched our lives by bringing paper presenters, keynote speakers. And this year, In Tandem team has expanded, and we have with us Dr. Alamelu, Assistant Professor at the Department of English, JNU. Want to welcome Dr. Alamelu. And the heartwarming thing about having Alamelu join us is that she was our student at Queen Mary's. She did her BA in English at Queen Mary's from 2000 to 2003, if I'm right. And another person who has joined us this year is Dr. Felicita, Associate Professor of English at Loyola College. I want to thank the PG tutors of PG. Meghala Devi is PG tutor for this year, Dr. Aruna Rani for the second PG, and I welcome both of them and their wards and thank them for grooming their students. And we have seen even a few undergraduate students participate in Tandem, and I have to thank the undergraduate teachers and tutors for that. So every year we have an In Tandem support team from the second PG. So today we have Trisha comparing. So she belongs to the support team. And apart from Trisha, the support team is comprised of Akshaya, Manoranjani, Srimati, and Srimati. So I wish them all the best as they take up responsibilities. As you know, you might understand the responsibilities include recording this session, preparing the invite for the session, getting the link for the session. So all the documentation and all the work pre and post the event. I welcome Dr. Felicita. Thank you, Dr. Felicita, for joining us. And so now coming to the theme, there's a lot that we can learn from the keynote speaker of the day. But I just want to make an observation that in every generation, there has been a popular culture. There must have been a cinema hero and some fan following, something that people followed. So the point is that popular culture shapes the thinking of every generation. And that is why it is relevant to deliberate on this theme. Understanding ourselves and the world we live in is what education is all about. In that sense, I believe that the theme for 26-27 could enlighten all those who engage with it. I wish all our board members, faculty at the Department of English, postgraduate students, and research scholars a fruitful year of study in the area of popular culture and literature. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your warm words of welcome and for setting a wonderful tone for today's inaugural program. Every successful academic journey begins with a well-planned roadmap. To present the schedule for the academic year 2026 to 2027, I invite Ms. S. Mahalakshmi, President of Tandem and Assistant Professor of English, Royal Falcon International Institute of Science and Technology, to address the gathering.
Yeah, good evening, respected principal, distinguished guests, faculty members, research scholars, and dear students. I'm Mahalakshmi. It gives me an immense pleasure to present the schedule of the Tandem Research Club for the academic year 2026 to 27. This year's theme is popular culture and literature. We have planned 20 enriching Fortnightly online symposia covering diverse and contemporary areas of literary and cultural studies. Our schedule is as follows. 14th July, Introduction to Popular Culture and Literature. 31st July, Bestsellers. 7th August, Popular Culture, Science, Fiction, Fantasy, and Detective Fiction. 21st August, Representing History in Popular Literature and Media. 28th August, Popular Films and Adaptations of Literary Text into Films. 11th September, Songwriters as Literary Artists. 18th September, Popular Culture for Children, Toys, Comics, Stories, and Cartoon Shows. 25th September, Popular Culture for Teens and Young Adults. 2nd October, Manga and its Global Reception. 9th October, Celebrity Culture, Fandom and Fanfiction. 27th November, Wellness and Popular Culture, Ikigai and Other Wellness Tropes. 4th December, Cookbooks, Self-help books, Style Guides, and Beauty Manuals. 18th December, the new media, reality shows, memes, reels, blogs, web series, and video games. 8th January 2027, Sports, Popular Culture, and Media. 22nd January 2027, The Politics of Representation, Gender, and Sexuality in Popular Literature. 5th February 2027, Women's Genres, Romances, Chicklet, and Women's Magazines. 19th February 2027, Disability, Aging, and Ecological Concerns in Popular Literature. 5th March 2027, Advertisements and Popular Journalism. 19th March 2027, Reinventing Traditional Arts for Modern Consumers. 2nd April 2027, Valedictory Address. We warmly invite all faculty members, research scholars, students, and participants to join us in these intellectually stimulating sessions throughout the academic year. We look forward for your active participation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for outlining the exciting academic activities planned for this year. We eagerly look forward to participating in the enriching session ahead. It is now time for our distinguished guests to share their valuable thoughts and wishes. I cordially invite Dr. R.Sreelatha, Patron in Tandem, Associate Professor and Retired Head of English Department, Chellamal College for Women, Chennai, to deliver the felicitation address.
Dr. Srilata, if you don't mind, can I share?
Now,
Sorry,
can you
can I share the topics? Do you want me to screen the topics?
No, don't want. Wait.
Okay, thank you.
I'll just. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
A very good evening to all. Greetings to all the Queen Marians on their 112th anniversary of the founding of the college. To the principal, Mrs. Maheswari, to the head of the Department of English, Maria Preethi Srinivasan, her team of dedicated colleagues, research candidates, and all students who are now members of Tandem, congratulations for the very, for a stimulating journey ahead. Tandem, I think, enters its 6th year of regular online research activity. And I think soon they will be bringing out a journal, and they've already released their workbooks, all part of the research team. I'm very happy that all this research activity has helped the students grow, and the dedicated team of teachers have helped them too. So this year's theme by popular vote, I think, is popular culture and literature. Tandem has always been an inclusive platform, and with the theme they've chosen today, I think we are assured of listening to keynote speakers, experts and research candidates as they explore every aspect of pop culture. Then debate on anything from kingdoms to fandoms, popular music, food to entertainment, then popular wellness. Maybe cake pop and wellness and of mind and body, from real culture to real cultures, streaming on the OTT, every aspect of social behavior and consumption, maybe from branding to gaming, even in the virtual worlds. Community identity and societal norms could also be analyzed through the books, films, and digital social media platforms. Globalization also, and almost all the aspects of cultural values, how they shape societal values, aspects, and all these can be explored, and the ideologies that shape embody the conscience of modern society and take it forward. So good luck to all the Tandem members who all the new members too, as they share this journey of intellectual quest with me, Dr. Rufus, Dr. Aparna, and Padma, or Dr. Dattatray and Shreya. All of these people have been with me, and I've learned a lot from this. So I'm looking forward to a year of intellectual. But this area is something I've not heard debated much, but I'm there. I'm living in this kind of in this society with all of these, included in it, and I have to also be, updated. I'm so very happy once again, wishing all your researchers and your dedicated staff members a very happy journey together. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging and insightful words. May I now invite Dr. Samuel Rufus, Patron in Tandem and Associate Professor, Department of English, Madras Christian College, to address the gathering.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, team. Thank you, Dr. Preethi, Dr. Sreelatha, for setting the tone for this wonderful conclave today. And I'm so happy at the way In Tandem has evolved over the years. For the Dr. Sreelatha rightly said, over the past 6 years, the way it has evolved is simply amazing. And I think it owes its continuance only to the sustained and committed vigor and rigor of Dr. Preethi Srinivasan. I am so in awe. I usually tell her this. I'm in awe. So the entire team here that has made In Tandem possible this year also, it's called a research club. The reason is research is something that we need to do almost every other day. Arjun Appadurai in his 2006 essay says research is something that we do every day. And this is a platform where we come together to do research by sharing each other's ideas, unique concepts. And today we have a wonderful speaker, Dr. Saranya, who is going to talk to us about popular culture and literature. I think last year we had on regional writing, this year on popular culture and literature. It's so amazing. And just one note, I would set the tone and then I'll wind up. If the author can be called a person who diagnoses the ills of society, right? If an author can be called a person who diagnoses the ills of society, then the critic is a person who looks at the author's diagnosis of society and comes up with their own, I don't want to use his or her, their own strategies on how to pinpoint some of the missing gaps there in the authors. That's why we have critics. And then comes the researcher. The researcher is a person who gives the therapy or the medicine. And that is where these research clubs are very, very important in today's society, because we are therapists basically, or literary therapists. We can, as Roman Jakobsen says, we can call ourselves literary surgeons or literary therapists. And in this sense, I'm sure that In Tandem is going to do a therapy this year through a meaningful engagement with literature. And I wish all the patrons, the the patrons and all the well-wishers and the students also of In Tandem Club a very rewarding year ahead. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts and best wishes. It is my honor to invite Dr. Deebashree Dattatri, board member in Tandem, Professor of Comparative Literature and Deputy Coordinator, Center of Canadian Studies, Jadavpur University, Kolkata, to deliver the felicitation.
I think she hasn't been able to join us. We can proceed to the next person.
Okay, ma'am. I now invite Dr. I. Felicita Mary Prabha, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Loyola College, Chennai, to share a felicitation.
You're not audible.
I know in
Okay. So respected Dr. Uma Maheswari, Principal, Queen Mary's College, Dr. Maria Preethi, Head, Department of English, Queen Mary's, Dr. Saranya, Dr. Samuel Rufus, Dr. R.Sreelatha, Dr. Deebashree, Dr. Alamelu, Ms. Mahalakshmi, and good evening to all the Queen Marians who are present here. At the outset, it's my pleasure in wishing you all the Queen Marians on the 112th birth anniversary of your esteemed institution in educating the young girls of the society. I feel also equally privileged for being part of this In Tandem Research Club, Queen Mary's College. This initiative actually opens new avenues in the field of research every year. And literature adds to reality. And it does not simply describe it. But then literature does not add to reality alone, but transforms the society in a way. So the literature becomes the beacon of hope for the masses to communicate what happens in their subterranean, uh, 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 what is that, area. And we also will be knowing from what the authors have said in their works, and as Dr. Samuel Rufus has said, what the critics feel regarding these works which have been written by the authors, the interpretation differs, and the critics actually find out the connotations in the works written by the authors, so that we understand the experiences given by the author and the experiences seen through certain theoretical frameworks by the critics, the cultural aspects, and even the historical aspects of every work. Let us make this in Tandem Research Club to explore the theme of this academic year, the popular culture and popular literature, a memorable one. I wish all success for the Queen Marians in um, in getting enriched by various other speakers. I have seen all these the topics that you have framed, and the Dr. Sreelatha has said, for me again, certain of the topics are very new. I haven't heard certain things. I'll be learning from you people. Through the St. Tandem Research Club, I'll also learn certain things, and I'll also give you certain inputs after going through certain of the works. And let us have a constant exchange of ideas and interpretations. And ultimately, our goal is to enrich all our ideas. And thank you once again, and congratulations that you have started your academic year with this popular culture and popular literature. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your thoughtful and motivating address. Finally, I invite Dr. B.R. Alamelu, Assistant Professor, Center for English Studies, School of Language, Literature and Cultural Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, to address the felicitation.
A very good evening to one and all gathered here. I hope I'm audible to all of you. I'd like to begin congratulating Queen Mary's College, my alma mater, on its 112th anniversary of its inception. To the respected principal, Professor B. Uma Maheswari, Professor Maria Preethi, my teacher and head of the Department of English, Queen Mary's College, my esteemed faculty members and dear research scholars, students, and my co-panelists for today, and of course, without fail, the keynote speaker, Professor Saranya J. It is a great honor and a personal pleasure to be part of the inauguration of In Tandem Research Club of the Department of English, Queen Mary's College. This invitation especially is meaningful to me because I return today not only as an academic and a member of the editorial board of English in Tandem, but also as a proud alumna of this institution. I passed out in 2004 from Queen Mary's College, and 2001 to 2004 marks a historic period in the history of Queen Mary's College, as the University of Madras as well as Queen Mary's College underwent institutional threats and intimidations from the state power back then. And Queen Mary's College has always strived to step out of those struggles and still survives and will continue to survive. And I'm happy to have been part of that struggle, which taught me immensely what life means and how institutions, what difficulty it takes to establish and nurture institutions and the stakeholders of each institution. Queen Mary's College laid the foundations of my intellectual journey. It taught me to read with care, think critically, and ask questions fearlessly. Coming back, even though virtually, feels like homecoming for me. The theme, Popular Culture and Literature, chosen for the academic year 2026-2027 is certainly intellectually stimulating, as all my predecessors also today have pointed out, and it is a current topic, much debated. Popular culture is often dismissed as mere entertainment, while literature has traditionally been regarded as serious art. Yet, the boundaries between the two have become increasingly porous. Today's novels converse with films, social media, memes, podcasts, gaming cultures, fan fiction, graphic narratives, and digital storytelling. To study literature today is also to understand the cultural worlds in which it circulates. What people watch, read, sing, share, imitate, and even laugh at, for instance, jokes in every community, tells us as much about society as canonical literary texts do. A research club is the ideal space to explore these intersections. A researcher's task is to notice what others overlook. Popular culture surrounds us so completely that we sometimes fail to recognize it as a valuable archive and a tool of contemporary history. A meme can reveal political anxieties. A stream series can reshape historical memory. A viral hashtag can redefine identity. A folk song, a web series, a comic strip, or an Instagram trend can also become a legitimate object of literary and cultural inquiry. Research today thrives at intersections. Literary studies increasingly converse with media studies, gender studies, disability studies, translation studies, digital humanities, environmental humanities, medical humanities, blue humanities or hydro humanities, and cultural studies. The most exciting questions often emerge where disciplines meet and intersect. This is precisely why a research club is not merely another academic forum. It is a community where ideas are challenged, perspectives are broadened, and intellectual curiosity is nurtured. To the students gathered here, I'd like to say this: do not wait until you begin a dissertation to think like a researcher. Begin with curiosity. Ask why a particular story becomes popular. Why do certain narratives endure while others disappear? Whose voices become visible in popular culture and whose remain absent? Every meaningful research project begins with a question that refuses to leave us alone. I also hope that this research club inspires many of you to move from reading to writing, from discussion to publication. Every published article begins as an idea shared in conversations like these. I also hope that you feel encouraged through this research club to write with confidence, present, publish, and contribute meaningfully to the ever evolving world of literary and cultural studies. In conclusion, I'd like to say that research ultimately is an act of attentive reading, not only of texts, but also of people, cultures, technologies, and everyday life. If this research club nurtures that habit of careful observation, thoughtful dialogue, and intellectual courage, and fosters originality and creativity, it will become much more than an academic forum. It will turn into a vibrant research community of inquiry. As an alumna, it fills me with immense pride to see my alma mater continue to inspire new generations of scholars. I wish the Research Club a long, a vibrant, intellectually enriching journey. May it continue to foster conversations that are critical, creative, inclusive, and relevant to our ever changing world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insight and encouraging words. The most awaited session of today's program is the keynote address. It is my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Saranya J.
Just a moment, Trisha. Just a moment, Trisha.
Okay, ma'am.
I have received a message from Dr. Debashree. I'll read it out. She's caught up in a meeting, so she wants me to read her message. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my heartfelt felicitations to the In Tandem Research Club, Queen Mary's College, Chennai, on the occasion of its inauguration of the academic session for 26-27. Since its inception, the club has consistently fostered a vibrant culture of research, critical thinking, and collaborative learning, providing a valuable platform for aspiring scholars. The theme for this year, popular culture and literature, is both contemporary and intellectually stimulating. In an era where popular culture profoundly influences individual identities, social values, and collective consciousness, the study of its relationship with literature offers rich opportunities for critical inquiry. It encourages researchers to examine how literary texts engage with popular media, folklore, digital cultures, cinema, music, and everyday cultural practices, thereby broadening the scope of literary scholarship through interdisciplinary perspectives. Research initiatives such as those undertaken by In Tandem play a pivotal role in cultivating analytical thinking, academic rigor, and a spirit of innovation among students. By promoting dialogue, collaboration, and scholarly engagement, the club empowers young researchers to contribute meaningfully to emerging areas of knowledge and to address contemporary cultural questions with insight and originality. I congratulate the dedicated faculty, student coordinators, alumni, and the entire organizing team for sustaining this remarkable academic initiative. May the sessions of 26-27 be marked by stimulating discussions, insightful research, and enduring academic achievements. I wish the In Tandem Research Club continued success in its mission of nurturing scholarship and inspiring future researchers. Together, we grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicita ma'am, for your inspiring perspectives and encouragement. The most awaited session of today's program.
That was from the message from Dr. Debashree.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Debashree ma'am, for your inspiring perspective and encouragement. The most awaited session of today's program is the keynote address. It is my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Saranya, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Ethiraj College for Women, Chennai. She will be speaking on the theme Popular Culture and Literature, a topic that explores the dynamic relationship between literary studies and contemporary cultural expression. May I now invite Dr. Saranya to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you, Trisha, for welcoming me. First and foremost, I would like to thank Dr. Maria Preethi Srinivasan for giving me this opportunity. As she said, it was short notice, but I didn't want to miss it at all. I really wanted to be here. So thank you so much, ma'am. And I would like to congratulate In Tandem, the Research Club of Queen Mary's College, for doing such a human service to research, I should say, because research is undergoing a very tough time, I should say, in India particularly, what with humanities department shutting down in many places. So I think what she's doing is no mean task at all. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. And I think I need to really, no amount of congratulations would be enough for her. I would like to thank the Queen Mary's Research Club, and I would like to congratulate them on their 112th birth anniversary of Queen Mary's College, and for empowering and educating and enlightening women across generations. And our board member, Dr. Bangaru Alamelu, stands testimony to that. That was such we were expecting only a felicitation, ma'am, but then you have made my job very easy. Actually, you almost sketched whatever I was trying to say. So thank you so much for that. Dr. R.Sreelatha Sugatan, the board member, and Dr. Felicita Mary and Dr. Samuel Rufus. I congratulate all of you for doing such a great work in terms of contribution to research in literature and in humanities. So without further ado, let me get into this topic for the day. So where do we begin? So it is such an interesting topic, as most of them said. It's not, when it comes to popular studies, popular culture, popular studies, it's not really easy. You cannot delineate it and say this is what it is. That is the whole nature of the discipline itself. So it's such an unwielding field, and you don't know where to begin and where to end. So it's structurally, it's not possible to put it in any sort of framework or compartmentalize it and say this is what popular culture is all about. So which is why I took it up as a challenge, and I thought I should attempt to speak about it to these group of research scholars. So this presentation is in no way a disclaimer, in no way expansive or exhaustive. It is just an introduction to popular culture and literature, and what are the ways in which we can approach popular culture as scholars, and why is it significant, and why is it relevant, as Maria Preethi ma'am said in the very beginning of her welcome address, that it is so relevant today because at every point in time it has shaped the masses, it has shaped the people, it has shaped countries. But for a very long time it has been divorced from serious study. And why was that? So we would be touching upon these things in this presentation. I don't go for the conventional PowerPoint presentation because I find it to be a hindrance. I would rather like it to be a discussion, and you're welcome to interrupt me and speak to me as well. Although it says keynote speaker, I would rather like it to be a discussion oriented presentation. So I think that is what research is about. It is not a vertical flow where one person talks, another person simply listens. It should always be a horizontal rhizomic network. So where do we begin with popular culture and literature? If you take the term popular culture itself, popular and culture, so two terms never were supposed to meet eye to eye up until the beginning of the 20th century. So what was popular was never considered as culture. So we need to start tracing the origin of this term culture itself in order to get into the roots of popular culture. So what is culture? Contrary to what we believe, Raymond Williams in his essay in Resources of Hope says that culture is ordinary. He doesn't dismiss it as such, but then he says cultural is at once ordinary. At the same time, it's a meaningful signifier. That's what he says. So what is this culture? So culture cannot be defined in any very specific terms. It has had a number of layers to it. Ways of signifying it have completely changed over epochs. So just to keep it simple, we would go back to the beginning of the 20th century, to the Levisian or the end of 19th century Matthew Arnoldian tradition, where Matthew Arnold, I'm bringing Matthew Arnold because he wrote an exclusive essay called Culture and Anarchy, and most of the students would be familiar with it. So what does he talk about culture? As he makes a very clear distinction between what is culture and what is anarchy, and there is such derision for what is popular. So when he says humanity should strive towards the culture, we should move into the sweetness and light, as he calls it, to culture, sweetness and light of culture. So it is something that is the realm of popular culture was something for him so disgustingly and distinctly opposed to the light of culture. That's what he says. And then he calls popular culture to, in his exact words, the popular with the moral failure of the unsound majority. That's the exact phrase that he uses, the moral failure of the unsound majority. So that is how popular was defined by Arnold. So anything that was popular were dismissed. In the same case, continued with the tradition. It was a tradition that was followed by F.R. Lewis. So we all know about the great literary tradition about which he wrote. There also he speaks about how he talks about high literature and low literature, and how what is consumed by the public masses cannot be qualified as popular, qualified as culturally valid material. And this tradition continues on almost up till the mid part of 20th century, until Raymond Williams, and so until the rise of Marxism. So we have Raymond Williams looking at all this tradition of a great Marxist critic who looks at all these traditional explanation of culture, and asks this very basic question. So what do you mean by culture? So he starts all his essays on culture, and particularly with Resources of Hope, starts with what is culture. So he gives a variety of various ways in which we can approach culture. So he comes up with 3 ways in which we can approach culture. So culture, first and foremost, a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. So this is one way in which we have understood culture. I will repeat it again: a general process of intellectual, spiritual, and aesthetic development. So as we have understood, say for example, Arnold and Lewis and any number of Western writers or Enlightenment writers, writers from the Enlightenment era, who have stressed upon this need for great art or great literature or something that was highly valued by the upper class society. So this is what was pointed out by Raymond Williams. And then the second way in which we can look at culture is culture as a way of life. What is our work culture like, for example? So how we lead our life, that is another way of looking at our culture. And if you look at the term culture itself, it comes from farming, cultivation. It comes from sowing. It just points to a whole process of growth, as simple as that. And we have accrued layers of meaning upon it. So it comes from farming, animal husbandry. That's where culture comes from. Civilization all comes from the root word to cultivate, from there. So from there we have culture as a way of life. That is another way of defining culture. The third way in which we can look at culture is the work and practice of intellectual and especially artistic activity. So this is what we call as the meaning making process. So what does something signify in a society? So that is one way of looking at culture. Right? So he says it's such an ordinary thing, and it's not. He